post in the chat, and that's
Did you
really
give Sarah just your link? I think it's Sarah
Oh,
from.
that's why
ah.
I kept writing saying I'm so sorry, and I said, why does that say
I'm like, why
right
is my
now?
name up there? Oh,
It's
Sarah.
so
Sarah
cute.
can be me
Hi,
today. I'll just
everybody.
bow
I'm Deborah.
out.
I'm Deborah Jr.
There we go.
Okay.
I did, yeah, I did notice that, but figured that would had happened. If just so everybody knows, if you register for Zoom and then share that link with somebody else, it's still registered through your name, so your name
Oh,
appears when you log in.
okay.
Okay, we're officially going to start. Happy New Year! With the new year brings a brand new NSE website. For about 10 months, NSE staff has been working on a new NSE website. The former site was built on a platform that was over 20 years old, and we continually ran into problems of keeping the site up to modern standards. And it certainly wouldn't comply with the federal website standards for accessibility that are coming down the line here very shortly. It also did not have any CRM capabilities, that is a customer relationship management function. And as we continue to see declining student enrollment coming out of the COVID-19 pandemic, we've realized that we really need a better way to track student interest and communicate with them throughout their research and application process, and also direct them to you, their home campus coordinators. So just yesterday, we launched the new NSE.org. It is built on a modern platform, HubSpot, that integrates our CMS, that's the content management system, kind of how you build a website needs, with our CRM needs, those customer relationship management. As with any new website, there will be bugs. Please let us know if you or your students encounter any. There were A website is also always a work in progress, and there are going to be new features added in the coming weeks and months, like the map, like the major search. These are a couple of things that people have said they miss. We're working on them. We know that's been high on the list for quite a while. So we thank you for your patience as we work through the biggest change to NSE since we debuted our first basic HTML website in the mid 1990s and built the online placement system in 2003. Really, zero technological updates or upgrades have been made since then. So this is a big deal for us. Before we talk about the new site and we dive into that, I'm showing it here. Let's talk about the old one. Very soon, the archived site will be available to you, so you can access your rosters from past years, apps in progress, the resources and other important information that you've relied on at that old site. We promise very soon it will be available to you. This will be messaged out through the NSE listserv. Okay, now let's talk about the new site. And there's a lot to explore, of course. It has a similar format and I'd say layout to the old site, but there have been some improvements as well. So take some time exploring it. And I'm going to look this way because my big monitor is over here to my left. Um, but really, what we're going to focus on is the coordinator portal, something that you all have access to. Um, and the primary coordinator from each campus was invited back in November to create their account and to craft their campus profile. So most of you have already been in the coordinator portal, and you do this by clicking login on the NSE website. You will be logging in as a coordinator. And I think I had been in the site earlier, so my login credentials and everything was cookied. It's a nice thing. You can easily get back into the site without having to re-log in. So this is what our portal, we're calling this coordinator portal, actually looks like. Now there are parts of this that are still under construction, as you can see. So the few things that we're going to highlight here are the edit profile. This is where all of you have access, the ability to update your personal information through the NSE website, and specifically what will appear in the coordinator directory. A big upgrade here is you can upload your own photo. That used to be a cumbersome process on the old site. Now everybody can upload their own photo. We really like to see photos. These photos appear in the coordinator directory. They also will appear in your student portals when they log in. So having a face to the name is a really nice thing. You also should indicate it if you're the primary contact for incoming students or outgoing students or both. I think most of us we manage both incoming and outgoing, but we do have some campuses that do separate those processes. So update all of this information as you see fit. Now, if you have realized that you have a campus colleague that is not set up yet with the NSE website, please reach out to Leah. We launched the website allowing one coordinator to access the site. We have expanded that. There's 2 and 3 people, I think, for some campuses that are accessing the site as well. So let us know if you have a colleague or somebody else on your campus that needs access to the website. It is something that we have to initiate on our end to get you into our database to set you up appropriately. So please let us know. Okay, so everybody, if you have not done so yet, please edit your profile. Now I'm going to hop up here to campus profile on the left and open that up. Click the little caret to open that up. These are all of the submission forms. Most of you remember the old submission forms on the website, and honestly, they always frustrated me because there was not necessarily an order to them or a rhyme or reason for what information was collected in the form. It was something that we inherited. So we've been really strategic with these new forms to hopefully make them a little bit more intuitive as you go through them. Many of you, I'd say the majority of you, have already been in here and updated your campus profiles. We did actually have to act for a couple dozen campuses to transfer their information from the old site into the new site. So we think now every campus at least has the basic information in here. But you control this information. You are in charge of the information that appears in your in these submission forms, because this is what populates your campus profile. All of these are pretty intuitive. Campus overview, the one kind of upgrade that we made here, well, a couple upgrades actually, is the text can actually be edited. You can bold, italicize, underline, or hyperlink. So I have seen a few profiles that have done cool hyperlinks within their campus descriptions and profiles, so be aware of that. We've had all of these are most of these things are things that we've had before in the old site. I just copy and pasted most of mine over from the old site. Here you're able to upload your campus images. The first one is a campus logo. We've never allowed campus logos on the website before. I'm really excited about this actually. So you can upload a logo that you get from your marketing office or whoever can give you that. You also can set what we call a hero image preview. So it is the primary image that appears at the top of your campus profile on the NSE website. Please be strategic about what image you put there, and you can try a couple others. Upload the photo, go to the public site, see how it looks, and make changes if necessary. You can actually upload, I think, up to 10 campus images. Here we go. They have to be under 5 megabytes. So we had a few people trying to upload 10 and 15 megabyte photos. That's just too big for our website. So make sure you upload photos. This is your chance to really showcase your particular campus. The other thing that I've noticed is on the academic calendar link here, we've always collected dates, term dates, but they've never been academic year specific, which always was a little bit confusing. Like, was this for the current year or for the next year? These dates are now academic year specific. And so I would encourage you always to think about the next academic year. I actually went in here and updated for next academic year. And this is, we're recruiting for students for next academic year. So fall semester term dates, fall 26 term dates, spring 27 term dates, and so on. So I'm not going to go through all of these, of course, because you all have done it, or most of you have done it. But again, you can always go back and update and edit these forms. These are yours to control. One other thing I do want to highlight here is the majors search. This was a big project that we underwent. And for many of you, we merely matched the majors that you had listed on the old site with the names of the majors here on the news site, and we pulled those over manually. But this is also yours to edit and to customize, because we've actually used the CIP codes to create the master list of majors and minors available at higher education institutions across the US. So if you really want to dive into this a little bit, you can get a list of SIP codes from your registrar, and you can go in and match the SIP codes that are listed here and go to town. So I actually did that. I have uh, 320 different majors listed based on those zip codes. And so, again, feel free to be as thorough as possible. Sometimes the name of the major is different on the zip code from what your campus calls it or what my campus calls it. So the zip codes really allowed us to systematize it. This is the master kind of federal list of names of majors and minors that we thought would be best used. Okay, last thing I want to show here is this application info, and this is under outgoing exchange policies. So this is information relevant to your outgoing application process. So the first thing is you're able to give your students specific instructions for applying. So this is my portal. These are my instructions that I give to my students, of course. And so make it friendly and personal. Make it really clarify what you need your students to do. Outline deadlines. So this is my deadline for next academic year placements. I have this caveat statement here regarding home tuition or away tuition. I'm going to mention that here in a minute. And so it's an important piece of information I want each of my applicants to read. I have instructions on what to do after their application is complete and contact info here as well. And again, a lot of these things are hyperlinkable, which is really nice as well. I didn't do this with the email address. I thought email addresses would happen automatically, but really nice feature. Click save to make that information available and public. Again, this is what your students will see from your campus when they apply. We are collecting information about how much campuses are charging their students for applying. This is outside of the 150 that's paid directly to NSE. We're also collecting what are the campus requirements for your students to apply. This is not shown publicly. This is more for internal use only. And so I do require my students to attend an info session. And then I have a Google form supplement with a student agreement that my students will fill out. And so fill that out, and that can be used for advising purposes. If one of your students reaches out to you, we can say, well, looks like your campus is going to require this and this and this. Talk to your coordinator about that. And then additional information for students. So on the old website, we did have a few questions that coordinators could customize and implement into their application or include into their application. We still have that. Now, these are intended to be really short answer questions. So mine are real basic. What is your U of M student ID number, etc. It actually will allow for very short answer essays. So if you want this to be used as sort of a very short answer essay section, that is allowable as well. Again, this is the information that will appear only on your student applications, things that you require for your applicants. Okay, now let's talk about placements. So right here on the navigation bar on the left is placements. Now, this is basically what your placements page looked like in the past. In the future, you will be able to see your incoming roster, your outgoing roster as well. But it opens here with your applications. So we give you kind of a running tally of the number of applications, the number of incoming or outgoing students you have as well. There is a search here, so once you have a long list of students, potentially you can do a quick search right there, or you can filter by years, semesters, statuses, etc. But this is what your application portal looks like now with NSE. These are all people that have clicked apply now on the new NSE website, and are at various stages of the application process. So first of all, I'm in there. This is using my Gmail address. I added that as my middle name just so I remembered that's the email address that I used. And so you can actually open up a student's application by clicking their name. And this shows you all of their application information, including their campus choices. And so again, almost all of this is what has existed currently on our NSE application forever. It's merely built into a new form. So look at this. You're also able to see the activity and notes over here, which is kind of fun. You can see when that application was created, when they've been working on it, when it was submitted. Um, One really cool feature that I like is this notes feature, actually. So the coordinator, actually can leave notes for the students. And I'm actually going to go out and do this for this lovely person. Megan Erkey, if you don't know, is actually my spouse. I recruited her to to do a test application for me today. And so I'm going to leave her a note. Love you. I wouldn't say that to, my normal college students. Um, okay. So this column allows you to see the various status or the stages of application. Um, First thing is account initiated. So Megan Erkey went to NSE.org, clicked apply now, created her own account, and then clicked on the application link. And I'm going to show you what the student portal looks like here in a minute as well. But that's what account initiated means is she's interested in NSE. She's started an application but hasn't done anything with it yet. Then you'll see here Brooke is an app in progress. So Brooke is working on the application. I met with her yesterday. She's still working through some things. That's app in progress. And then you'll also see app completed. And so that is when the student has filled out all of the components of their application and they've clicked submit to coordinator. So this really tells me it's time to meet with the student. Um, I will meet with the student. I'm going to verify that they're eligible. And I do these meetings in person or on Zoom. We would review the application together. We have this view and edit button over here. So you and the student together can actually view the application and make edits. So say that one of you figures out, something was misspelled here, or probably more importantly or more relevant to all of us is editing campus choices, since helping students understand chance of placement, choosing a first choice and alternate choice campuses, that's part of the advising process of NSE. So oftentimes I anticipate using the edit campus choices function quite often. And so again, review all of this. I will then, uh, once we have both decided, yes, we're moving forward with this process, Layla is in fact wanting to apply and go on exchange, I will simply click approve. And there's a double click here that, are you sure you want to approve this application? I'm saying, yes, I'm going to approve. And so then that's when the status changes to approved here. Now, a big question here that I'm going to ask for Leah to chime in here a little bit is the application fee, which is required for placement, of course. And this was always a cumbersome process on the old site, and it's a much smoother, easier process on this new site. Now, there are some campuses, including my own, where we've been grandfathered in and we collect the fee directly from the student, and NSE directly invoices my campus. So when I look at Layla's application right here, she's approved, approved for placement, ready for placement. Because I'm going to collect the fee directly from Layla, I bill her student account, and NSE invoices my campus. But the majority of the majority of campuses, and the majority of students will pay the fee directly to NSE. So I'm going to stop my screen share and ask Leah to share her screen, because as she works with the NSE guest students, those are students not from an NSE campus, um, her process is a little bit different.
Yep. So, yeah, David mentioned, um, the difference between NSCHQ invoicing your campus and students paying the application fee directly online to NSC. I have indicated all of those preferences in the in our admin site. So what I did is just went off what you have done as a campus historically, whether you have had students pay their application fees online directly to NSE, or whether we have invoiced your campus for those fees. The same is true for campus fees. I went with what your campus has done historically. Like if we've collected those campus fees on the behalf of your campus and then sent you a reimbursement check later. This is all based on historical date, what you've done historically. So if you would like to verify with me how your campus is set up, just send me an email and I would be happy to do that. If you would like to change anything, also please send me an email and let me know if any changes are made. Okay. So I'm going to go through here the process of approving an application and then what happens with the fee. So I'm going to go into this test student here. Okay, you can see my test student, which I have a few of them in here, but has been approved for placement. And my guest students are set up so that they receive an invoice for the student application fee. So I'm going to go into this student application. And you can see here at the top, so once I went in, I actually approved this student application. And so what happened automatically is that the student received an email for the application fee. And here in your coordinator portal, you can see that up here an application fee is required. And also you can see under the activity and notes that an application fee is required. Okay. What I received as a coordinator when I clicked approved, what happened automatically is that I was sent as a coordinator, this email, an invoice was sent for a student application. Okay. So I knew that, okay, this student, they received an invoice. And then as a student, this is what the student receives is an email. You have an invoice due from nsc.org. It has the amount there. It has a link for them to click with the invoice. And then on the invoice, a link to pay it. And this is what the payment page looks like for the student. So they can use a credit card, Google Pay, and they can even pay with a US bank account. We use Stripe. That's what that looks like. So I haven't tested this yet, so maybe I should. I can reimburse myself, but later, unless I want to make a donation to NSE. But once the student pays that fee, then that's when they are officially ready for placement. So if they don't pay the fee, they won't be pushed through to placement. And again, this is if it is set up so that your students pay the application fee directly to NSE. If it is set up for us to invoice your campus, once you approve that application, the student is right away ready for placement. Any questions?
One question from Julie Good. There will
Yeah.
still be a surcharge for students using a credit card, correct?
A what?
A processing fee, or did that go away?
We did not have that set up.
Okay.
No. Or that's something, yeah, we'll have to discuss that.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey, Leah, just a quick question, Vid here. I think I missed a part of your presentation. This is now automated, right? So for
Mhm.
students who are self-paying for that
Yep.
NSE, we can approve their applications, and they will then receive all
Yeah.
of that, and we'll say, okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah. So yeah, right. Under placements here. Um, let's see.
Yeah, thank you. I think I understand it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. I think that's a great
Yeah.
change.
So like this student, Grace, her app is completed. So then once I approve her application, I would just click approve for placement, and that invoice is automatically sent to her. Okay. She pays the invoice, then she's ready for placement and not before. Does that clear things up? As soon as you approve a
That's
student for
fantastic.
placement, they receive that invoice for the fee. Yep.
Yeah. And then Maury asks, will we receive an automatic email when student makes a payment as in the old site?
I believe so. I haven't tested that yet, but yeah.
Maybe you should pay that fee and then get reimbursed just to test that out.
Okay,
There's been a
I'll
lot of
do that.
testing in the
Actually,
last
I'll do that really quick.
there's been a lot
And
of
then I'll
test
let you know what happens.
a lot of testing in the last couple of weeks, and there might have been a couple of tests that we forgot about. Okay, there were a couple of comments in the chat that I just wanted to go back to. So one is about the old website and students that have already applied through the old website. Um, those students, as I think Deborah indicated in the chat, will be invited to create an account on the new NSE website and redo their application. There is no way for us because the way this website is set up, it is an account um, based system where a student and their email address gives them access to the system, and we cannot input all of the information without that account being set up. But the good news is the application itself is quite simple. I think it takes students, once they've done their research and have worked through it, it will probably take them 10 minutes to complete it. So, you know, work with us, and please encourage your students to work with us. I know there could be some frustration for that, but it is going to be a smooth, intuitive, quick process for them to create a new application on this beautiful brand new NSE website. So as Deborah said, we will be inviting them to initiate a new account and to begin that application. But that's something that we ask you to do as well. When you have access to the old site, we will let you know when you have access. You can quickly download your application roster and export it into Excel. Send a quick email, copy and paste those emails, send a quick email saying, hey, NSE has a new website. You have to begin your new application there.
Yeah, and I'll interject really quick. Um, for those students that have um, initiated an application, we will actually be sending them like an invitation um, to set up their password for the student portal, so the student.nsc.org. So it's best if they look for that email from us and register their account using the link in that email.
Yeah, correct. Great. Thanks. Thanks for that, Leah. Okay, one other screen share here is the student dashboard. So we encourage you to test out the application yourself, but don't use your work email address because that will mess up your status. Right now, you have coordinator status in our backend database, and we don't want that to get messed up with the student status. And when a coordinator tries to log in as a student, it breaks some things on our end. So use a personal email address. You can email us, and we'll delete it and get it out of there down the road. But test it out using a personal email address. So like I did today, I had my spouse apply. And so this is Megan Erkey's application portal. Um, Couple of cool features, I think, is she sees me, her home campus coordinator, and my face, my campus, my email address, my phone number here as well. And so connecting students with their coordinator is quicker and easier than ever through this app portal. You also see the application details here. Those are those instructions that I typed out and I want all of my students to see and read. And again, this can be updated. So as deadlines pass or information changes, please edit that information. Um, we're working on the formatting a little bit. Things are kind of crammed together here. I want spaces in between some of these paragraphs. So we're going to keep working on that. But this is where you can see the application. This is where then the student can see their application. So Meg has not done anything with the application yet, not started, but at any time she can click continue application. Oh, she'll have to log in again, which I didn't save her login credentials. I should have done that. To make any, actually, let me do this real quick. I think I do know her login. Nope, wrong password. So, but hopefully you've got a glimpse of what that student portal looks like. It sees you, the main contact for outgoing students, sees that message that you provided with instructions, and it shows the application. The one thing I wanted to show you is that comment section. So I saw the little section up in the upper right hand corner that said "Love you." That was the message that I sent to her. I think somebody asked if notifications are sent when there are comments. I believe that yes, that's in the works where if a coordinator leaves a comment for the student, it's visible in their portal, but it also should be sent to them as an email. So that is something that is on the list and should be in place sometime soon. Okay, I have a couple of important reminders that I want to share, and then I think we will have time for general Q&A. Let me share my screen here again. And so a couple of things we want to remind you about are some dates. Now, we've shared these the last 2 months, I think in December and January both. We've shared some of these important dates that are coming up. The first one is the priority placement webinar on February 19th from 1 to 2 p.m. Central. And this is a Zoom event. And let me copy and paste this Zoom link and put this in chat. And so because this is a brand new process, we do hope and expect that all of you can attend. There's the comment or the chat box. Okay, so register for that. It will also be recorded if you cannot attend live, but we will get you well prepared for what priority placements will look like. The next important deadline to be aware of or date is Friday, February 27th or before. This is our recommended campus deadline for your students to apply, finish up their applications. That will give you the weekend to finalize things. Some of you may have earlier deadlines. I have a deadline on February 25th, but this should be your deadline for your students to apply for NSE. Next date is Monday, March 2nd. So all of us are familiar with that cutoff deadline to get your applications entered into the placement system. Well, this is still the deadline, Monday, March 2nd at 11:59, that's midnight. This is your final deadline to approve applications and make sure the students have paid the fee. So that is when the placement system locks down, no longer available for any new placements or payments. So, this is the final day. Follow up with those students that are straggling, finishing up their applications or haven't paid the fee. That is when everything needs to be finalized. Next important deadlines are the priority placement week. Now, we are doing things very different this year. Priority placements the live priority placement kickoff will happen on Tuesday, March 3rd from 12 to 12:30 p.m. Central. And this is also a Zoom event. Let me give you the Zoom link in the chat. It's been in the last couple of emails that you've received as well. And we do hope we expect everybody to come and be part of the priority placement kickoff. We'll be giving important instructions, important updates, and reminders during this period. And at 12:30 p.m., we will be flipping a switch on the system, and that's when priority placement decisions will occur. Priority placement decisions are still online. You will be logged in, sitting at your office computer or your home computer, making those placement decisions. Now, we're going to have the Zoom available for the entire day, I think until 5 p.m. For people that want to hang out, there is always a fun communal aspect of being part of priority placements. This is the first round, I should also clarify. But we know that many of you know what you're doing. You can log off and go and do your placement decisions as you see fit. Communication this year will be happening strictly via email or phone between coordinators. So if you have a critical question for an applicant who wants to come to your campus, you'll have plenty of time, ample time to reach out to that coordinator to make that phone call or to have asked that question. So the next date is, why is this not advanced?
Yeah, David, there's a window blocking your slides. It's like you have the,
Oh,
yeah, there you go. There you go.
gotcha. Sorry about that. Let me go back. Was it visible on the first slide? And you've received these dates multiple times already. Hopefully you've marked your calendar already, but these are those first dates that I mentioned. Then okay, Wednesday, March 4th, we'll have a live priority placement check-in from 12 to 12:30. So the first round of priority placements actually will begin at 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday, and they will go all the way through Wednesday, through the end of the day Wednesday is when first round priority placement decisions need to be made. We're stretching this out to alleviate some of the communication issues that have happened in the past and the urgency that some campuses have to make decisions. And so this will be a more leisure, more relaxed process. And again, you'll be communicating with each other via phone or email. So we do hope that you'll check in again with us. We will be giving updates and things at this time. First round priority placements will continue through the end of the day Wednesday. And then on Thursday, March 5th at 12 p.m. Central until 2 p.m. Central is when we'll conduct alternate round placements. So historically, about 85% of students are accepted in the first round. So they'll all be wrapped up by the end of the day Wednesday. That information will appear in your portals, of course. And then for those students that were not accepted by their first choice, they'll be handled during alternate round placements on Thursday between 12 and 2. We will let you know if you do not need to be part of alternate round placements. If you've placed all of your students and if no students have selected you as an alternate round campus, you are exempt. You don't need to show up on this Thursday from 12 to 2. But we hope everybody will show up from 2 to 3 p.m. Central for the zone meeting. I mistyped Zoom meetings. It will be on Zoom, but these are the zone meetings with your council representative. This will be a chance to debrief from placements, talk about other important matters regarding your NSE program as well. So please do plan to show up for that as well. Okay. Questions about, I'm going to stop my screen share. Questions about the dates, about priority placement process, or anything else that we've talked about here today. We do have about 15 minutes. Well, we still know who is first round the day before priority placement as an inbound to be placed at our school. So that is also part of lengthening the decision-making process. So everybody will log in at noon. Deborah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe what we've decided is everybody at noon on that Tuesday, other than some of our campuses that have higher volume of students, like the Hawaii campuses. But we'll log in at noon to see those prospective incoming students.
All
Uh,
right. So going back to the question about do our coordinators notified once that fee is paid and all that stuff? Yes, I went in and paid that fee. Um, so here's what the student gets. They get a receipt from National Student Exchange, like an invoice marked paid. Very cool. And as a coordinator, you get this message, student application ready for placement. That they paid the fee and they're ready for placement. So yeah, pretty cool.
Uh, Judy asks, will we have a number of students who have put our school down as first choice? That's something I don't think that we've discussed. I think it's entirely possible for there to be a kind of a running tally like we've had in the past of, um, as applications are entered. So I think that is, yes, definitely something that we can accommodate or try to accommodate. Tally of prospective students.
The path.
Yeah. So one of the cool things about having the students having their own portal is there will be a lot more. NSEHQ will have a better ability to disseminate information directly to students, and that is the plan for the placement acceptance form to be populated in their application portal where they can see their placement information, but then actually fill out the path there in the portal. And they will get an email prompting them to do that, and that will be automatically sent, although we likely will have a delay so that all students are notified at the same time as opposed to when placement decisions actually are made. Will host campuses be able to communicate with students through the portal? Yes. So one of the cool things, I can try to log in as as one of my many other applications. Um, you maybe noticed, or maybe not. Let me try to log in here real quick. Forget which email address is which at this point.
Hmm.
And there are some features that we're still building, and so I think we're open to these types of questions, but also recommendations. So let me share my screen one more time. So you'll notice again, this is another fake application I have in the works. I think I'm a guest. I think I'm applying as a guest student right now. Oh no, I'm a U of M student as well. Um, so there is this space for a way campus coordinator. This information will be populated. So again, in your roster, if you've indicated that you are the the main contact for incoming students, your information will appear there, and so the student will be able to reach out to you. But I really do like the idea. Hope I hadn't thought of that actually of the host coordinator being able to use the comments or the notes function over here as well. I think that's something we can easily build into that. That doesn't seem too difficult of functionality. Michael's question, are students or coordinators now required to pay the placement fees before the placement conference, placement event? Yes. For campuses that have students pay the fee directly to NSE, their placement request will not go through if they've not paid the fee. That was an issue with our old site, honestly. And so those applications will still be pending. They'll still be in limbo until the student pays the fee. Or if you're a campus that will pay the fee on behalf of students, that whole process is bypassed. You click approve, they are ready for placement.
Or if we invoice your campus for the student fees, then that fee is bypassed and they're ready for placement.
Yeah, there we go. Cindy asks, will the student be notified by NSE when, where they are placed, or will that still be the job privilege of the home coordinator? This is something we've talked about, because I do know, Cindy, that some of us really do take joy. We've, have placement parties where we announce placement decisions and things like that. Um, I think this is something, and maybe Cindy, reach out to us if you feel strongly one way or the other. But there is so much potential for automation with our new website using HubSpot that we really plan to utilize a lot of these automated features, where placement decisions, notifications, the PAF things will just be able to pop up on the student's application or the student's portal. So I think we're planning to go in that direction, but the timing of it still is, I think, up for question. I think we had talked about all placement decisions going out on Friday. Deborah or Leah, correct me if I'm wrong. So you
Yeah,
know,
like
you
48
would,
hours or yeah.
so Cindy, you could have that window. Thursday night could be, if you wanted to unveil placements before they're officially notified through the NSE website. I think there would be time for that. Yes, Vid, thank you for bringing that up.
Mhm.
It seems to be some emails, or when some people are creating their accounts, the original invitation email is showing up in spam. Um, it happened for my spouse when she set up her account. It did not happen for me. Did not happen for a couple of students that have worked through it. So it seems to be hit or miss. Could be, the filters you have in place in your personal Gmail account. So this is something that we are aware of. Our tech person is working to see if there's any anything that we can do to minimize the possibility of that. But that will be an important reminder to share with your students. Check your spam. If you don't see that original invitation email in your inbox, check your spam because it may show up there.
Quick question. I see how it says applications start by term. Does that mean that students would have multiple applications if they are applying to multiple terms rather than one application that can be applied to different terms
Oh, okay. You're talking about a student who wants to go one place in the fall and a different place in the spring.
or different years or summer or whatever?
Yeah. This is something that I think was on a list to be discussed. Multiple apps. And I'll have to get back to our tech person for an update on that. I believe right now this is set up for there to be a single application per student. So I will try to get a quick answer on that because yes, we do occasionally have students who apply multiple times for NSE. I do think that if a student, actually I haven't tested this. This is something that I'll test and maybe give an update. It could be a functionality now where you can set up multiple applications, but I'm not sure about that. But it is term based, so they are indicating a specific term or academic year that they're hoping to go, indicating the year that they want to go as well, and to start the application. And so the term and year and things are always editable. They can change that down the road, but that's how they begin their application. And that's how we're routing priority placements versus later placements or direct placements as well. Go ahead, Hope.
Are there any of those automatic red flags that were kind of built into the previous system? So for students who are at a semester school, they're applying to a quarter school. If they marked that they want housing, but not housing is not available, like do any of these things come up when a student is actually in the application process or after the application has been submitted?
I will have to get back to you on that. I don't think
Not
those are in
yet.
place. Yeah, I don't think
Maybe
those are in place.
sometime far down the line, but not yet.
Okay. Um, Another question about students who have already started an application. Yes, NSE HQ will be contacting them to start a new application on the website.
Hey, David.
Yes.
So I have to do a lot
Just
of
had a question about coordinators. Are we okay?
Yeah, Michael was speaking. If you can just hold on, Amy, you'll be next.
thanks. I have to do a lot of internal vetting before I can allow any of my students to apply to NSC. Like I have to make for example, different faculties have different eligibility requirements. Is there any way we can is there functionality in your new system to allow um, students to only apply within a certain window of opportunity? Like I have a deadline, my deadline, internal deadline to apply is January 20th. So I wouldn't want any of my students to apply until like I'd give them maybe a 2 or 3 week window of opportunity before the placement conference is March. Do we have functionality on the system to block applications from students from certain schools until, until that window of opportunity arises?
Yep. No, we don't. We don't have that ability, and I don't think we'd allow for that ability. That inability here. Um, but for you and for some of the other campuses that have your own protocols and your own timing and things, that's where I would encourage you to outline some of these application details. Clearly state before starting an NSE application, please visit this website or please email Michael to discuss your options. But this application is open 24/7, just like our old application was open 24/7, actually. And
Mhm.
so, uh, and then what I would do is when you're notified, if a student initiates an application on the NSE website, send them an email and say, hey, before you get too far on that, here are some things that you need to know.
So, okay, follow-up question for you then. Um, eh, so historically, with the old site, I had the ability to go in and cancel student
Yep.
applications. So can I still do that with this new system?
Yes, you can. Yep, there is a yes, and that's another good point. That is another option for you. Let me demonstrate that. I meant to show that earlier, um, and I am aware of time here. Okay, share my screen, coordinator portal. So Megan Erkey here. She's not going to do NSE. Click. Now I have to log in again. Let's hopefully this login works. I'm trying to use incognito windows and things like that because I have so many different logins that are.
I can show it if you want me to, David.
Um, nope,
Yeah,
now I'm in. I don't know why I didn't.
you in now?
So you simply open the application and there is a cancel application here. So that allows you to cancel the application. It shows as canceled on the student portal. It shows as canceled on your um, when you look at a student application here as well. So yes, that is always the option as well.
If your application for your school has essay questions, which I do,
Yeah.
are they included in this, or is that a separate application process?
Yeah, so one of the changes we made here, and this is to simplify and unify the application for NSE students, is well, two things. The additional application, additional questions, I'm using them as very, very short answer, like single answer questions. Are you first gen? What is your ID number, etc. But these actually can be used as short answer essays. And so that is something you would be able to do. We do not have the form upload function that we had in the past. Some campuses would require students to upload transcripts and things like that. Because none of that is required by NSE, we didn't want to have any of that living on the NSE website anymore.
Okay.
And so some of you may have to revise your application process, and I'm one of these, where some of the new features of the website are things that are no longer available. I'm actually creating a Google form to collect some of the additional information, as well as a couple of short answer essays that I require for my student. I also have a brand new hold harmless agreement. My campus has never required one for NSE before, but that will be shared with students um, at some point in the application process. They'll be invited to complete this Google form.
So when your
Amy,
existing,
question? Oh, sorry, Cindy.
Go
Amy
ahead.
had a question before, and we wanted to make sure we got to her.
Yeah, sorry, Amy.
No, that's okay. I'm just thinking about the coordinators. So we have a couple more coordinators, more advisors that are going to be joining in the system. I'm just wondering, when they're given the invites or when they're creating their profile, we would generally have them use a generic university, not their personal UCalgary email. So is that something that's important when they're signing up that they need to incorporate, or like we don't
Yes.
want them the students emailing their UCalgary. We want them to use our generic for incoming and
Yeah.
outgoing.
Yeah, so we don't really have the capability of displaying like a different email at this time. We don't really have the capability of displaying a different email for a student versus a different email, like if it's a coordinator. So whatever email you give me to create your account is the email that will appear in the directory and that will appear for students. So I believe Blessing and Catherine, I believe I did use the generic email accounts
Okay,
for
perfect.
them when
Okay.
yeah, I can
I
check.
can look into it, but yeah, no, that's perfect. I
Yeah.
just wanted to see if that was something I had to follow up
Yeah.
with. Thank you.
Yep.
I thought I saw a hand raised. Somebody have a hand raised?
Jamie,
Amy.
and I didn't know if Cindy still had another question, so we'll get back to you there, Cindy. Sorry.
Hi, everyone. Quick question. Are we no longer going to have the list for like chance of placement for first choice versus alternate choices?
Oh no, that is public on the NSE website already. Well, as I have said earlier, there are still some updates to be done on the public site. But when you look at a particular campus,
Mhm.
um, the chance of acceptance is actually listed on each profile, which it always has been. We just have not been able to create a master list listing all of these. So, and we've really clarified because I think there was always confusion around this. If this is your top choice campus, home tuition and away tuition, remember that's an important change here. No more host pay. It is away tuition. And then also chance of acceptance for alternate choice campuses right here visible on the profiles. So we do, I think, anticipate moving it again to this page, available campuses, where every school is listed. That just has not happened yet.
And is there a categories? Like I know we used to have a category section.
Don't have a category section. We're working on still working on the search functionality.
Got it.
Is there a specific part of the categories page that you found most useful?
I think it was helpful working with international students, them having a list of seeing schools where they can go to in one place. That's helpful.
Yeah.
And also for summer exchange.
Yeah. Those are two things on the list that'll be part of kind of a more master search functionality that we are still working on.
Awesome. Thank you.
Is speaking of that, is there going to be a map search again? And one thing that I've always wanted to ask for is if there's a way to click like all of Canada instead of having to click individual or being able to click all of states too.
Sure.
Rather than having to only be able to click individual.
Individual province, I think. Yes, we are still working on a map search as well, and I will make note that it would be helpful to search all Canada or all US?
My question was when NSE reaches out to the students that have already submitted an application and they've approved, will they be given an application or will they be just, how is that going to work for them?
Sorry, so
Cindy, what?
the students that have already applied through the old website, is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
We've imported all of their names and emails, and they're associated with the home campus. We will be emailing them an invitation to register their account on the new site and complete an application.
Okay. Okay.
Can you please
And
let us
then
know when that happens?
Should happen this afternoon.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yep.
in categories, access to honors courses is kind of an important one too.
Access to honors. Okay.
Mhm.
Don't think I had forgotten that one.
And Hope, you wanted to see the campus selection on the student app, is that right?
I'm just being lazy and not making a fake one, but I was just
Yeah,
curious.
I mean, yeah,
what it
I
was
can
like.
I can show you that quick. Um,
Do you want to share? Sorry.
yeah, oh, whoops. I thought I did and then I didn't. Okay, so here's the campus choice page on the student application. So it just says select campus. There's the drop down. Payment plan. Housing. I need on campus, prefer on campus, plan to live off campus.
I love how you can do that by each kid.
And then we added this to say, I understand that NSC course access cannot be guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. And then, they either have course availability or there are specific courses that they need. So yeah.
And our goal with that was really to clarify, we've always said need major classes. Well, that can be a really confusing response because what exactly does that mean? And so we do allow students to indicate the number of if there are specific courses they need, and whether they pick those courses from the host campus catalog or it's their home campus. I need a general biology course. Well, it's going to be offered pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, and Hope up to 3 alternate class campuses. So a first choice and then 3 alternates, so 4 choices total.
Judy, yes, we'll have an ability to highlight HBCUs, Puerto Rico, summer, etc. as well.
Yeah.
There are things that have been on the master list for a long time that, as other priorities arise, get pushed down. So
Yeah.
we're working as quickly as we can.
Yep.
Our web developer is not sleeping much, I don't think. Yes, we will note it'll go a listserv. I've been checking hourly today because it literally is in process and just takes a little bit of time. Internet, you have to go all the way around the world and then come back and zigzag. A couple of things just for marketing purposes that I do want to share. First of all, remember that NSEHQ is offering info sessions always. There are sessions scheduled all the way now through the end of February or February 20th. So please promote these to your students. They meet with me typically, and I walk them through the process, through the website, and direct them back to you. And let me double check. I'm not sure if the road trip session got updated or not yet. Oh, yes. So in the upcoming road trip sessions that we will be hosting January, February are scheduled here as well. We do have all of the recordings from the previous site. They are on our YouTube channel. And I'm gonna make sure that we compile all of those in one place and share them out as well. So register for these sessions too, promote them to your students. First one is Experience Alaska. Next is experiential field-based programs, and then HBCUs. So as you're maybe looking to do Black History Month programming, make sure that that info session is on your campus calendars. All right. Well, we are past time, and I'm sure all of you have probably better places to be than sitting here with me. So I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here, and please do watch. We will be sharing information and updates as they come to us. Some will go through the listserv. Some of them will go through the biweekly messages that go out on the 1st and the 15th. Please read those. I heard from a coordinator today, a veteran coordinator who was very far behind on some of these things that she shouldn't have been if she had been reading some of those last couple emails that we send. So please read those emails. We work hard on them. And again, thank you so much for your time. Happy New Year, and enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, David, do you have time for an offline conversation?
I do, yes.
All right.
Let me stop the record here real quick.
Sure.
Whoops.